Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Zero. Today I've got a special replay with a tank I just recently 3-marked. This game is from approximately a week ago. Personally, I would consider this tank a hidden gem. It is the WT of Panzer IV. It is the Tier 9 German lightly armored tank destroyer. And let's get started. So, basically, it is a turreted tank destroyer, has no gun depression, but it is a fully traversable turret. It has 560 alpha gun. This is probably the best guns in the game. Like, I love this gun. It has 352 millimeters of APCR pen, has pretty good HE as well, and it is decently mobile. So right now, I'm just heading down to this bottom corner. I'll just be looking for some early shots. One thing that I like about this replay and why I'm featuring it is because the game does not start out very well, both for me and my team, but in the end, you'll see what happens. What you don't see right now because of the replay bug is this thing with my loadout. I'm running a bounty rammer and a rammer directive. I have an 8.84 second reload for 560 alpha. That makes that DPM be insane. And as you can tell, the gun handling is actually very nice. Aim time is nice, the bloom is not huge, and the shell velocity is actually incredible. I recently played and 3-marked the ISU 1.2K, and that is the complete opposite of this tank. I really do feel that way. And that is because that gun has a very long aim time, seems very inaccurate, it does not go where you aim it, and the shell velocity just doesn't seem to fit. It does have 750 alpha instead of 560, and it is a tier lower, but alright, that was a very bad shot that I had right there. But the fact that this thing has such a fast reload means... Oh, here I thought I actually snuck a shot in, because I sometimes do that in this tank. So if you notice, I'm actually seeing... I do that for two reasons. One, I actually have more gun depression over the back and the side of the tank, 5 degrees instead of 4. But it also means I can run away faster. And especially in a tank destroyer with no armor, you want to be running as soon as you fire if you're sitting in the bush. Which, if you'll notice, I do actually end up setting up behind the bush here and there. But I don't trust my teammates to spot, so I like to do that myself. Like so. So that time I was sitting in the bush, so I just ran. I actually didn't get lit, which is kind of rare. But worked out in my favor. So, right about now, I'm noticing that my team is collapsing. Lost 3 tanks already. We're losing this flank. This IS-3 will definitely go down. And they've pushed up to here already, so don't have much map control. Thing is I don't really know what to do at this point, because, again, I'm just kind of stagnant. Mind you, I haven't seen this replay in quite a while, and I did play this a week ago, so I'm not sure exactly when I rotate across the map. But I do end up doing that because I have to. Or at least if not across the map, then rotating to a different position. Alright, here it is. So, like I said, I saw that this side fell, and I saw that they pushed up over here. So this spot right here is pretty good at shooting both this and this. You just have to be very careful. At 4190, dying right there was very good for me because I wasn't spotted on this cross. Prevented me from taking a hit or two, most likely. I recall I actually get spotted here and I wasn't expecting it. As you can see, this thing doesn't have much gun depression. I'm sitting here on this ridge and I don't have a shot at all. As you can tell, we're still down 3 tanks. Lost all of our, well actually most of our light tanks, I didn't realize they're full. We've lost a medium and a heavy, but it's only mainly tank destroyers and arty left, which is kind of rough. Not to mention, it is problem with this matchmaker is if your tanks that can actually do things die, then your team is just basically done for the rest of the match. Here I sneak a shot in. I do get lit because I didn't notice the 1390 had moved up, which was my fault, and it luckily didn't cost me much, if any, hits at all. So here you'll notice that, again, gun depression is kind of an issue. I have to turn my tank a little. But here you can see the shell velocity and the accuracy. And actually the rate of fire as well, because it decides to back up. And here I should have held my shot with the EBR, but I wasn't expecting him to cross in front of me. So at this point, we're down a lot of tanks. At this point, I'm not thinking about winning, and and neither does this M53. I'm just kind of sitting here because I'm not sure what to help. Because I feel like if I move up, I'm not going to be able to help. I also don't want to sit back and do nothing. I do finish off the 704, which is a good kill. Again, we are only down 3 tanks at this point. So our 257 pushed out here, so he's kind of overextending, in my opinion. At this point, we could have just held. It ends up being fine. If anyone was wondering, south side is the better side for camping. This position, and this position are actually just kind of dumb. The other side doesn't have as strong positions. A3 is good, but it is pretty easy to approach without getting destroyed. Here, if there's tanks in most, it ends up being. So again, so far I feel like this has showcased mostly what's good about this tank. It has flexibility because of the turret, it has good pen, good shell velocity, and good accuracy. Here you see I'm struggling to find gun depression. Then I decide, what am I doing? I don't want to sit in front of APZ. And here you're going to see the rate of fire. Oh, the other thing that you might notice is that this thing has a pretty slow turret traverse. But for the most part, that doesn't actually affect this tank. So right there, I just two-shot a tier 8 tank destroyer, and it took me practically no time at all. Over here, I was thinking about pushing in to help the kill the IS-3 version 2. Then I realized that JPZ could have located in a position to hit me. I'm already at 3,500 damage, which is pretty solid for a tier 9. It's nothing really crazy. And if you notice, we actually pulled it even, at least for a tiny bit. Considering how the game started, it was quite surprising. So, this will be one of the only times that I will actually give praise to an arty player. But our 261 here played very, very well. Basically, he ended up providing vision and giving neutral shots when needed. The JPZ being there actually surprised me. But here, it's just two of us left. And it's like, oh, this is not gonna be fun. My goal here is just to run as far away as I can. And then keep the lack of gun depression. So this thing actually has some pretty good on the move firing skills. The bloom is actually quite small. It's when you turn your turret that the bloom gets a little bit bigger. So at this point, it went from a 2v5 down to a 2v4. I decided to pick a bush that will help me support the 6-1, also spot cap. And there's the 352 pen. And here you see me bushing up. And again, the rate of fire on this thing is just ridiculous for 560 alpha. Just trying to move around in the bushes to prevent myself getting lit, but also making sure that I provide the vision that is necessary. There I go. Nice job, Arty, by saying affirmative. So it's now a 2v3. Oh, this is what happens. I'm like, where does the WT come from? So I put a shot into him here. I actually am undetected, which is very good. And again, the rate of fire means that I can actually finish him off there. But he got lit. So that meant that I actually had to deal with the last two tanks alone. Arty tells me that the arty is in E0. Looking back at this, I probably should have gone back for arty first. But I decided to go for the JPZ, and here I screw up. I just didn't have the gun depression. So I take 1100 damage, which is quite unfortunate. But I make my shot count. And there we go. At this point I'm at almost 6k damage and I have 6 kills. And I only have 2 minutes left to find the arty and kill him or shotgunned. I was fully expecting to get shotgunned by the arty because this thing cannot take an arty shell whatsoever. It has no armor. The most armor it has is on the front. The rest of it is just paper thin. Like, I even say no gun depression hurt me there. Then what I do here is I make sure to aim my shell in, and that's all she wrote. So, like I said, WT Panzer IV is quite the hidden gem. The gun is very comfortable to use. It is quite slow at some times. Going up hills doesn't have much power to weight. Reverse speed can be painful, and the lack of gun depression is also frustrating, to say the least. But if you get yourself in good positions, it just dominates. I thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys around.